It's the return of the Mr. Figure, getting bigger every time I deliver a classic through drastic measures and no rulers. Jotting down my words, hoping they hold truer than any type of path that they set for me. The pressure mountain, but I never let it get to me. I just breathe, remember what I wanted to be. Critics nitpicking, what the hell they wanting from me? Peep the music, I tell these kids to reach up. I've been turning haters and negatives to believers. For this, the work of a lion and a leader. You can only rule the world if you let the world teach you. Platform, yeah, word. And what it sound like? Platform, yeah, what it sound like?
I was on Last Comic Standing, where I came in number 5, but in this room, I'm the only one, so also one of them died, so I'm number 4, technically, if you're counting the people right now. I would win in a fight now, a physical fight, a comedy fight, maybe. Who can, look, he was my friend, he was a great guy, and he would like that joke, I think, as well, and I would rather have him be alive than have that joke, but I don't get to pick, so I have the joke. Craig Robinson was the host when I was on, 2010, and here's a thing that I did for fun. Sometimes, like, I would do stand-up, and then Craig Robinson, the host, would come out, and he would look at the teleprompter, and he would read what it says to say, and it would say something like, "That was Myq Kaplan, stick around, we'll be right back." And because I could see it, I would just mouth it along with him. So it looked like we were both saying, "That was Myq Kaplan, stick around, we'll be right back." And you guys understand how that would be a funny thing to do. And so we went to commercial, and then the producers would come out and be like, "Okay, we're going to take that one more time, and Myq, can you not do that?" Do you know this?
Should have.
I mean, there's no shoulds, but I could tell you a couple. I could tell you a couple of Weird Al songs. But you know, this tour is Weird Al. He's not doing any parodies. It's all, he has 3 hours of original songs.
Oh my
and
gosh.
every show he'll do like an hour and a half. He's like, if he's in a city for 2 nights, he'll do like a completely different show each night. And yeah, it's he's like, so everybody be aware. I just read an interview with him in Rolling Stone. He's like, this is what I want to do. He's like, it'll be nice to not put on a bunch of costumes and just be able to sit out there and play some music.
Wow. He didn't need the weird. Al Yankovic would have been fine. We would have gotten it just from that name. To
be honest, perhaps it was a calculated decision that people can spell weird more easily than Yankovic.
True. He could just be Weird Al.
He was going by Al Yankovic, and people were like, "That's weird." He's like, "Yeah, that's. We'll take it." We did the 17.
17.
Yeah, and then we're gonna share a number 62 with Chicken Style. And then also, I will recommend us have the veggie pizza also. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Would you be comfortable and helping me with a message that I want to get out on Facebook?
Of course.
All right. So I gave this interview on a show called The Hilarious World of Depression. Have you heard about it?
I haven't. It sounds great.
So great. They interview a lot of comedians with depression. Neil Brennan, Maria Bamford, Dick Cavett.
Oh, wow.
Did it. Some really high-profile people with and me.
In good company.
Yeah, some in good company. And they talk about their struggles with depression. And so the people who have listened to it have written really nice things.
The people who haven't listened to it are really mean.
Yeah. Right. They've said really nice things, and the best thing that they have said is that it made them feel less alone.
That's
so
great.
I wanted to write a little message to the people, and also give them a link in case they haven't,
of course,
listened to it. So I start off, I say, I have received the most wonderful comments and messages about this interview. your generosity and grace has been overwhelming. Is grace the right word there?
I think you're talking like graciousness, or I mean, I think grace is fine. It didn't strike me as a problem.
Yeah, I'm new to the word grace, and it is one of the definitions I liked of it was moral generosity and
Sure.
and also forgiveness and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's appropriate.
I think it is appropriate, and if somebody disagrees, then they can forgive you.
Okay.
With grace.
Right.
If somebody says, I don't actually have grace, well then I'm not talking to you.
Okay. The next sentence is what I'm having trouble with. So many people have told me that it made them feel less alone. And the idea I want to get across, and the only thing I can come up with so far is that is so gratifying to hear, is the idea that if that's the case, then...
That makes you feel less alone.
Yeah. It does make me feel less alone, but it also... And the word I keep coming back to is redemptive, but I don't know if it's the appropriate word.
Oh, sure.
That there is something to there's something positive to having gone through this.
Oh yeah.
Or going through this, if by sharing it with other people, I made them feel better.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it as simply as that. I mean, that sentence, like, it makes me feel good to know that by having gone through this, it's helping some people.
Okay. Is there any more efficient?
Oh, probably.
What I'm asking you is there a Myq Kaplan smarter way to say that? And can it use the word redemptive, or is there an actual word for the feeling you get when you're suffering something? To take it to the craziest version.
Sure.
Jesus' death redeemed.
Yes.
Redeemed the world.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. You've made me feel Christ-like. I'm not saying that I am Jesus himself, but you have made me feel that way.
Yeah.
I think if it were me saying something like that, I would say it probably, I wouldn't throw in like necessarily flowery language just for the sake of it, but
Right.
I would say, knowing that my difficult times have helped people with their difficult times, has been gratifying and redemptive. That sounds great. Excellent. Thank you so much. Joy. Do you know what joke of yours comes up in my life experience? Like I tell a lot of people it is the part of Trader Joe's where you say justice.
Oh.
It captures such a perfect, beautiful truth. The basic thing is Gary has been wronged in what seems to be a minimal way to the person wronging him. And she says, well, if it matters that much to you. A thing we've all heard. And it's usually a knockdown, if it met. And Gary says, you say, Gary, as you might know, if what matters that much to me? Justice? Is that the wording?
All right. Well, we're rolling whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Danny. Hey, everyone. Welcome back, or for the first time, to Hang Out With Me, a podcast by me, Myq Kaplan, where every episode starts with me talking in my everyday, regular speaking voice. Thanks for being a VIP member. If you are, if you're not, you can go to keepingthegirl.com/VIP and put in the code MYQ. It'll probably do something. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Thanks for doing it. And you can go to the Keeping the Girl app, keepingthegirl.com/app. Engage with everything there. Why wouldn't you go to an app? Everything's better when it's an app. People love apps. Appetizers, appetites. Yeah.
Application for Destruction.
That's kind of cheating.
thank-
Appetizer and appetite.
Yep, you're definitely right. But also, you haven't been introduced
Sorry.
yet. It's fine.
I'm a ghost.
Yeah. So that's all the time we have today, actually. So thank you very much for my ghost being here. My ghost host, former, sometimes, maybe, co-host. Welcome back to the show for the first time since exiting New York City. And the Keith and the Girl Network. Now you're back.
Mm-hmm.
It's Danny Hatch, everybody.
Thank you. But
Hey.
once in future, sometimes maybe ghost.
Now we call you the old Andrea.
Yeah.
Before we share the point where we are on the
Mhm.
infinite middle journey of, I got to go back and listen to another podcast. But where can people find the things that you'd like them to know about? I know, as you mentioned, you have with Rosa a new podcast.
Yes, it has yet to be released.
But
And probably by the time this one comes out, will have yet to be released.
Who can say?
It's called Danny and the Doctor,
Mhm.
and I have crippling anxiety about it, even though I think both of the episodes we've done are fun. And here's the thing. People have messaged me asking for them, and instead of just, like, self-actualizing and releasing it, I will message them a link to the Dropbox file. Like, instead of just putting the podcast out and getting that, I just send them a link to the Dropbox file.
And then have
'Cause I
people
can't put it out.
responded positively to those files?
They tend to drop off shortly after.
Danny.
You love Eminem.
I do enjoy the work of Eminem.
So, yeah, I'm not trying to, like, trick you into, like,
Thank you, Danny.
standing up for his lesser qualities. What did you think of the Cipher that he did that everyone...
The anti-Trump
Yeah.
cipher. I talked about this with Zach Sherwin, who also, thank you, has loved Eminem, and
Mhm.
I would say still does love the work of Eminem. Like, he has made some, if you can measure rhymes objectively, some
good
really
ones.
fantastic ones.
Yeah.
And we think that, Zach and I agreed that it was enjoyable to see anybody talking, from a perspective that we're glad is being presented on this particular subject. And there were a lot of cool rhymes, without a beat, it's not as bumping a tune. And yeah, I think that he has I think I was talking about this with Gary Goldman actually earlier this weekend. And I think Gary said something like, he's like, I can't slam dunk at all. But I have, sometimes you can see multiple slam dunks and be like, that one was an amazing slam dunk. And that slam dunk wasn't as good. I'm not saying that I can't
Sure.
do any of those slam dunks. But, Eminem has had some slammier dunks.
Yeah.
Some slammier dunks.
He's got to get all his dunks in a row and try it.
Thank you, Danny, for having this conversation and
Thank you,
recording
Myq.
it.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, no, we lost it.
Oh, God.
And delete.
Wink. Goodbye.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good kitty. I'm touching the cat now.
You sure are.
That's the creepiest way to say you're petting a cat. I'm touching the cat. I think naturally don't remember more than our lifetime's worth. They can only remember like 100 years worth.
That's crazy.
So they'll meet people again sometimes. Like sometimes you can they'll take notes or records and be like, oh, that's okay. But otherwise there'll be things that
Yeah, that makes sense, and I feel like that is something that we might see happen. Like, what will happen when we live to?
I mean, I think it already is kind of happening.
Yeah.
That I certainly now I remember more things. I also do keep a journal each day,
Yeah.
and I write what happened the day before. Sometimes in detail, sometimes not extensive detail. Sometimes I'll not get a chance to do it for a week.
Yeah.
And so I'll be going back and what did I do last Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'll be probably something, and then did this show. I'll have certain things in my online, calendar, but I won't have, if I had tea with somebody, that might not be there. If I, took a walk and ran into somebody, that might not be there. But if I do it the next day, I get it all. And when I'm recording it with typing, that will help, I think, lock it in further into my head.
Yeah.
And so there definitely are things from my childhood. I have some memories from when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 doing dances. 5, 6, 7, 8.
But like I can remember, something from very, if you plot the points of the days where I can tell you, obviously I can't even tell you what day I was, having lunch with this new kid Andy, and my friend Jeremy took his candy bar.
Yeah.
Like I know it was during 2nd or 3rd grade, but now I could go back on my records and tell you some things by date, but also more. I can more closely approximate the time of year of something or the day of the week, depending on what kind of if I was at a show, and I'm really good at remembering stuff. What was I gonna say? The point is, there are certainly, every once in a while you meet somebody, from your past, and, like you run into somebody from high school or elementary school or whatever it is, summer camp, and they're like, you remember this thing? You're like, wow, I don't. Like, that's an experience that was in my life, but you remember it and I don't. And then I have that for other people. Like, I told Gary Gulman today a thing about when I first listened to his first album, like how it struck me and like what I said to him to compliment him and what he said back to me, because I said it kind of weird. I heard was the kid saying, "Don't say that in public." I wonder what the father said.
Hopefully I love you.
Do you guys start a little after 8?
Right at 8.
8?
Much,
Great.
Yeah. I'd be
Super.
doing bullet.
Yeah. How long do you want to do?
15?
Yeah, sure.
If that's good with you?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Perfect.
guys, stand-up comedy show right downstairs, 8 o'clock. Gonna be a great time.
That's
exactly
really nice of you to say. No, that's perfect.
Are you guys here for the show?
No, but I'm a big fan.
Oh, well,
I didn't know you were playing.
then you should come to the show.
Yeah, it's great to meet you, by the way.
What's your name?
Rohit.
Rohan, Mike.
That's
A pleasure.
Yeah, are you playing it now?
I'll be going on first at the show that starts at 8.
Great.
It's,
Well, then I got to heading downstairs.
you may.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Are you also with, what's your name?
With
I'm sorry, you're talking to I'm Basu.
Nasu?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You too, nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$5.
Very
wouldn't miss it.
serendipitous. Oh yeah.
On a Sunday night.
I'm doing like probably like 15 minutes here and then running to another show in
you guys from the
Somerville.
area?
I'll do one more show tomorrow night, a longer set in
Okay.
I think Ulster
Yeah,
Brighton
you got a great
somewhere.
show.
Hey, cool. I remember it.
Okay. Well,
It's gonna be a good time. You guys should come
if
down.
you want, here's my emails on here too. But definitely, you're here right now, so start with this.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Cool.
Burger salads.
You too. Thank you. November 5th, Journal. While the host of the show was barking people in, he's like, "Hey guys, comedy show, 8 o'clock." And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm way too drunk." I'm like, that kind of self-awareness
Yeah.
is really, I wish more people had it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's kind of like a test. It's like, it seems like you're not.
Yeah.
If you know that you're too drunk, I think you're fine.
I feel like I would be less surprised if
Oh,
someone
I'm not
said-
too drunk. Oh,
Or if someone said I'm not drunk enough for a comedy show, but
Oh, yeah.
I bet I can get there.
Yeah.
I didn't like my boss as much as it was like he was like a ponytail guy and he acted like someone with a ponytail and authority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like the worst type of person in power.
Like a guy
Think
who.
about how bad Mike Pence would be if he had a ponytail. You know what I mean? That'd be awful. We would all be very sad. Folks, we have a great show. Your first comic is absolutely phenomenal. We're just so happy that he's dropping into the show. Just one of our favorites. He has Amazon special you should check out called Small Dork and Handsome. He's been featured on Conan and Comedy Central. Please put your hands together. Welcome the very funny Myq Kaplan.
Thank you, everybody. I tell jokes and I tell truths, and truths are just jokes that people don't laugh at. So, I appreciate that some of you like that joke, and I like that some of you appreciate that truth. I love that sound. The laugh almost didn't come out. But it wanted to. It really wanted to. Sorry to point at you without even looking. It's a baller move. I'll sometimes we'll be in a bathroom, somebody will knock on the door, and they will say, "Is someone in there?" And then it's your turn. That's your cue. What do you say? Probably like, "Someone's in here?" whatever your age, race, gender is, you turn into a tiny Jew like me. And you're like, you know, and you say, someone's in here, which is 100% correct. That's true. Someone is in there, and that's what they're asking. Is someone in there? Someone's in here. Boom. Nailed it. You can say that, but you don't have to say that. Did you know that? You don't have to say someone's in here. You know what you could say is anything, literally anything, will let them know that someone's in there. Do you understand? It could be like, hey, is anyone in there? I love you. You can say something meaningful. Is anyone in there? Black Lives Matter. You can yell that. That's true. You can give them some trivia. You can yell, is anyone in there? The longest sidewalk in the world's in Tampa. It's 4.5 miles uninterrupted. This is the way that a priest sings. Not sure why if God created everything in the universe, including every musical note of every octave of every scale, he still prefers every Sunday to be serenaded with songs that have only 2 notes. In fact, it's mostly only 1 note. If you can tell, it's just this note over and over again until the very end, after all the suspense has been raised. Anticipation, where does anticipation is still gonna work, the joke's still fine, you guys get it, and it goes down to the other note. What do I know, I'm just a Jew. Our songs are pretty shitty as well. We mostly only have the 1. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Same 2 notes. You could yell that from the bathroom, is what I'm saying. And, guys, thanks so much for coming out tonight. Enjoy the rest of the show and your lives. Thanks, Myq Kaplan. Enjoy. Guys, keep it going for Myq Kaplan! The largest, the tallest stone building. That's really something. What would if it wasn't 8 feet deep underneath, then the building would fall over?
Yeah, or it would collapse on itself.
Wow. That's about as far as I can go.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, like I can, you know, point them at, and then I can go farther.
I think that's. Yeah. Let's wait for. I end my tour by pointing out our city hall because it's real ugly, and sometimes I'll end the tour right here and I'll say this is the best view of it, mainly obscured by this dead tree. It's been getting a pretty good. All right, folks, we have one final comedian for you this evening. He is so funny, dear friend. He has several albums. His most recent album is called No Kidding. It is available wherever comedy albums are available. You're going to love him, so please put your hands together and welcome to the stage the wonderful Myq Kaplan.
Thank you. Be young.
Awesome going crazy, awesome off the boat. Awesome might fear that his friends might turn into foes. Awesome hate his phone, awesome left the world. Awesome would have threw goes away for life with a girl. Hate to let it go, but I'd rather love hate than to hate the lover so. It's lonely on this road, surrounded by several allies, but these eyes see one. Tiptoeing around, trying to find my sound, trying to find myself. That's been the premise, every sentence that I toss in this melting pot.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for weeding out the stones. Now, welcome to the stage, your host, Officer Alex Grabard.